Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today for you I have a mighty review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about Ninja Turtles today, folks. But anyway, let's give a quick overview of the game. The developer is Tribute Games. The publisher is Emu. Something like that. It's a French studio. What do you expect? I can't get that kind of shit, right? Because I'm old and shit. The release, it was released for Windows, Linux, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox X on June 16th of 2022, folks. So the premise of the game is you are playing as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or some of their allies, such as April O'Neil. You have Splinter, and then you have Casey Jones. And essentially, the Foot Clan is back, and they steal the Statue of Liberty. And, of course, the Turtles is going after the Foot Clan and Shredder. That is essentially the whole basis of the game. Now, the overall thoughts about the game is, I think the game has got good retro graphics. The sounds, in general terms, sounds fine. The game ran really smooth for me. I did see people making complaints about FPS issues and stuff like that. But personally, it ran smooth for me the whole time. I had no issues, no glitches, nothing like that. And I did actually have a glitch I did notice. But it might have been me because I'm old and shit. But either way, generally, it runs smooth. Now, that being said, the game is heavily influenced by essentially the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon from the 80s. You know, back during the height of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, a lot of the music is influenced by the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles television series. And essentially the music is more or less remixes of the music from the show. General good story, in my opinion. I mean, it's very simple, very baseline, but it gets the point across of what the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are doing and what is their goal. And, of course, also what is the Foot Clan's goal at the end of the day, because let's face it, they're the antagonist and you're playing as the protagonist. It does have character progression, very simplified to be honest. You gain points for every time you take out an opponent, and you essentially you progress up a chart that you can gain extra lives, you can gain extra health, extra power bars, new maneuvers, etc., etc. It's really, really simple. There's really no customization to it. It's a very simple level progression system. It does have online and crossplay, so PC players can play with people that are on Xbox and so on and so forth. So I actually find that kind of nice because I found out recently one of my buddies, even though he's mostly a PC gamer, he actually has this on Xbox and I have it on PC. So this is actually a review of the PC version, folks. The controls are actually good. You got a lot of different types of combinations, but all the combinations and different maneuvers are really simple, and essentially it's done within like a 5-6 button format. So the game is really simplified even on that end, and essentially very user friendly. And honestly, overall, it makes the game very mindless. It's a mindless beat 'em up type game, but I generally, even though I'm not a huge fan of mindless games, I actually rather enjoyed my overall experience of this game. It does have saving. I like that feature, honestly, because I remember playing the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games from back in the day. Everything. I had the first 3 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games as well as Turtles in Time. And in general terms, if you will, you could pause the game and walk away, but essentially, unless if you want to shut your game system off, you'd either lose your progression in the game or you would just have to play the game straight through. So, yeah, it's kind of nice that it does have saving. Take advantage of modern technology, if you will. There is mods for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's nothing really special there. A lot of reskin stuff, recoloration stuff, things of that nature. Nothing I even wasted my time even downloading. But for those people who like to mod their games, which I am one of those people who like to mod my games, it's an option. There are 7 characters to play as. You can play as, of course, the 4 Turtles, which is Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo. And then you can play as Splinter, which I think that's actually pretty cool. You can play as Casey Jones, and you can play as April O'Neil. Now, April O'Neil, I'm kind of like, nah, you know. I rather would have seen other characters, other allies of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, I would have rather seen Yosagi Jimbo. I think I pronounced his name wrong. But for those of you who remember the old series, there was a rabbit that was a samurai. I rather would have seen characters like that brought in. There was also a robot. I don't really remember his name. And I'm not talking about Metalhead. This was a different type of robot. So, I mean, I rather would have liked to have been able to play as maybe one of the other allies that the Turtles had. Or even that fifth turtle that they had for the newer, well, it's the television series that they've done in the mid-90s, even though that series was a bomb. But since then, that character's actually been implemented in the comic books. And is actually, they've done a very good job. IDW's done a very good job implementing that character. But, hey, that's what we got. Now, the one thing I do think is rather cool, rather rad, if you will, is they brought back the original voice actors from the TV series. So that was cool. I don't know if they brought them all back, but they brought most of them back at least. The other thing, though, now, two things I noticed. One, special attacks. Sometimes I would do special attacks and the enemy would literally be in my attack range, but they would not get hit, such as that guy right there. And honestly, that is... Roll! The last thing I noticed is it does kind of fall into the typical beat-em-up problem of... particularly the last like 2/3 of the game is just like kind of like, okay, I'm really done with this game now. I mean, that's kind of just a typical problem with pretty much all the different kinds of superhero beat 'em up. Well, I don't want to say superhero beat 'em up, but all the different kinds of beat 'em up games out there where after so long it just becomes repetitive and you get kind of tired of it. That being said, though, overall, in my experience, I actually rather enjoyed the game. The game is $25 on Steam. I do recommend it at the $25 price, but obviously it's even better if you get it on sale. And yeah, you know what? Go out there, get this game, and go Ninja, go Ninja, go. But anyway, folks, that's enough cheesiness for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed this review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have yourself a wonderful day.